Hey guys, good morning. Happy Tuesday. It's Daryl here. It is 4 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. This is one of those days where I've kind of rushed out and set up here to make this video. I've been up for a couple hours now. I've read a lot of the comments from yesterday about my ride into Litchfield County here in Connecticut. And I read the comments. And also, I want to talk about the Supreme Court, Amy Coney Barrett being nominated. And I'm going to tie all three of these things in together. My comments, one comment in particular about my Native American background and the COVID-19 virus. One comment about that, the comments, and some follow-up thoughts on my video from yesterday about my ride into Litchfield County and the Supreme Court. All right. We'll start out with the Supreme Court. All right, if you guys think about it, Amy Coney Barrett becomes the fifth Supreme Court justice, the five out of nine. 5 out of 9 of these Supreme Court justices have been seated, put in the Supreme Court without the majority, the will of the majority of the American people. They've been put into the Supreme Court by a smaller group of white conservative people in the United States. A smaller group, not the majority. This goes against democracy. Democracy is, of course, as we know, is the majority. The majority of people, wherever the majority of the people vote for in general, is the direction we go. And we're pulling away from this in America. It's the loss of our democracy, the destruction of our democracy right now. It's been going on, and it's tripled or increased many-fold over the last 3 or 4 years. Okay, 5 of the last Supreme Court justices, 5 out of 9 Supreme Court justices have not been picked, have not been the will of the majority of the American people. Why? Because look at George W. Bush running against Al Gore. He did not get the majority of the popular vote. He was put into office by the electoral votes. Trump, same situation, did not get, there was millions, I can't remember, 3 million more votes for Hillary Clinton than for Trump. He did not get the majority of the popular vote. And then on top of that, with Amy Coney Barrett being put into the Supreme Court right now, right before the election, and if you look at the polls, the way the polls are going right now, at least 60% of America is not in favor of Donald Trump at this point. Maybe 58, let's say 58% of America is not in favor of Donald Trump at this point. Yet, Amy Coney Barrett is going to the Supreme Court. Not the majority of the American people's pick for the Supreme Court. George W. Bush picked 2 Supreme Court justices. Trump picked 3. And both these presidents were not the winners of the popular vote. Therefore, 5 of these Supreme Court justices were not put into the Supreme Court by the majority of the American people. They were put in there by a shrinking group of Republican conservative voters, white, the white men in power. And this is where I tie it into Litchfield County. When I talked about my ride up there into Litchfield County the other day, I talked about, wealthy houses, and I was surprised. It appears they made good decisions, and I'm surprised they were voting for Donald Trump. And in the back of my head, I wasn't being completely 100% forthcoming. I knew the real reason for this. I don't know if it was just to kind of challenge any Trump supporters that were watching this, to challenge their decision-making process. But I knew the real reason behind this, and it's all about scarcity, the mindset of scarcity and the mindset of abundance. That's what it all comes down to. A mindset of scarcity. The people that put Trump into power, the people that put George W. Bush into power, the people that want to retain power, the people that are worried about illegal immigration, the people that are constantly there, that are being manipulated to worry about the stock market, even though it doesn't affect their daily lives. It affects people much more wealthier than them. The Trump supporter, I'm talking about Trump supporters now, and they've been manipulated into believing that the stock market is for their a better life for them, or all the people that amass all these weapons. Don't get me wrong, I'm for the Second Amendment. I'm a gun owner myself, but the people that stockpile all these weapons and the militias and all that stuff, it's a mindset of scarcity. It's a mindset of, it's more of an emotional mindset where it's like a constant daily scratch for survival over other people. The constantly worrying that somebody's going to take something of yours, that you have to amass more and more and more and more. That white people are going to be overrun by Latinos or black people or social democrat mobs and all this other stuff. It's a mindset of scarcity. And I think it goes back, I referred to this a bunch of times, with a shrinking Caucasian population. This was announced back when I was a kid. I remember that white people would become a minority. And I've referenced this several times in my videos. And that's what it comes down to a lot. It's this shrinking, and it's not all white people by any means, but this group of, it's just the mindset of scarcity mostly amongst Trump supporters. And you see that in these Trump rallies where they're so concerned about what they have and keeping what they have, and people are going to take what they have and all this other stuff, a mindset of scarcity. Whereas other people just have a mindset of abundance, of generosity, of, with me, since I've been in recovery, I look at these last 14 years as a blessing. I refer to it as an extra life. Like when you're playing a video game and you get an extra life. I mean, I shouldn't even be here. This is all a blessing. This is all a bonus to me. This is all just abundance. Every day is a blessing. You can take everything I have, and I still feel like I could still make my way back and be prosperous again and be happy. I don't know. You can get into the psychological reasons as to the why some people are more mindset of scarcity, mindset of abundance, but that's what it comes down to. And the people putting all these conservatives in the Supreme Court is an effort to control the power, to control their ever shrinking little group of white people that's shrinking more and more. And like I said, not all Caucasian people worry about this. All right, now I'm going to move on to one comment I got, and I had never heard this question before. I'm going to sum it up. I can't remember it word for word, but it said, I am Micmac. I'm part Micmac, Native American from Maine. And I'm part French Canadian. My parents spoke French Canadian before, not Parisian French Canadian, before they even spoke English. I'm pretty sure, I think my uncle isn't even an American citizen. Okay, so they asked me, one of the comments asked me, being part Native American, do I see the COVID-19 virus as more of the Europeans' infringement? That it's because the Europeans coming here, and do I blame it on that? That's being Native American. Do I blame the COVID-19 virus on the continuing assault by Europeans on Native Americans? I guess that sums it up, what this comment said. And I was like, wow, this never even crossed my mind. And no, that was it. That's all I answered. No, I don't. I can't speak for all Native Americans. My mindset is that, of course, I think most Native Americans realize that people would have spread across the world. We would have had visitors here sooner or later. And it's not about who came here, but why they came here and how they treated the land and the people when they got here. Not as much as people coming here. I think it was inevitable that people would have come here, or disease would have come here, or catastrophes. This is part of God's or the Great Spirit's will, and it's how you react to that. Again, it's a mindset of abundance versus scarcity. Scarcity. If you had a mindset of scarcity, you would agree with that. That, yeah, it's all because the Europeans coming here, and now it's led to tuberculosis, and now it's COVID, and it's all because the Europeans came here. It's assigning blame, instead of just looking at it as a part of life and death and what comes after life, and really nothing to fear. It's just another obstacle to be overcome, to work together with nature and the land and the people to overcome it and get past it. I think it was inevitable that visitors or tragedy would have come to North America. If it wasn't COVID, it would have been something else. And it's all on how you respond to these things that are beyond your understanding. These catastrophes that is it's a will greater than your own. It's a test for us, and how we work together with land, nature, and each other to overcome these things and make us stronger people, to overcome the next tragedy or the next catastrophe that'll come after this. It's kind of like climbing a ladder. And that's how I look at it. It's how a lot of people look at it. And I think it's a mindset of abundance. I hope I tied all three of these in together. The Supreme Court, and how 5 of the 9 Supreme Court justices were not picked by the majority of the American people. It was picked by people with a mindset of scarcity, that they were losing control. They're scared, and they're scared of losing control of their money and their wealth, their power. And they've put 5 out of 9 Supreme Court justices in the Supreme Court, not through democracy, but through their will. And the Native Americans look at COVID-19, which I had never thought of, and my ride into Litchfield County. Like I said, and one last thing I want to bring up. For a couple hours, for a good part of the day yesterday, I kind of worried about that video. I was afraid it would come across that I was saying that people that have more money are more intelligent, and by no means was I saying that at all. Intelligence. I think people that have more money or more means have access to a higher education, of course, than people that don't have money, and that's one of the problems with this country right now. But it does not mean that you're going to be smarter by any means, or more intelligent. Intelligent and education, two different things. So I just want to clear that up. By no means do I think that wealthy people are more intelligent or make better choices at all. I think I don't know. People become wealthy by different means, but I don't think it's all through intelligence. All right. I hope I tied all these in together. All right, you guys have a good Monday. I'll be back, or a good Tuesday. I'll be back later with another video.